How's it going, everybody? aka the Coot here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at Nasus in the jungle, a little instructional. At the end there'll be the build, the runes, and the Mastries as always. And just to jump right in, we'll tell you what his moves do. His passive is a life drain. He gets lifesteal from any kind of things he uses, so that is his passive. His Q is Siphoning Strike. It basically is a powered up move when you use the Q while attacking a minion or an enemy. If you kill that enemy or minion, it adds bonus damage to your Q, so that's why you hear people always talking about stacking their Q and feeding their Q up, because the more you use your Q, the more damage it does. So that's your whammy stick, as you probably heard it called in videos that we've done before. Your W is a big slow. It's not a skill shot, so you can click it no matter where it is. It's very powerful. And it basically slows their movement speed by 35% for 5 seconds, and that slow increases over time. They start initially at like 17.5, but either way, they start out slow and then they get slower, and it lasts forever, 5 seconds. So, and then his E is called Spirit Fire. It puts an AoE magic damage dealing thing on the ground and does damage to everything in it for 5 seconds. And his R is called Fury of the Sands. It's like a giant buff. What it does is it makes him really large. It gives him a big health boost, 50% attack range, 100% bonus cast range, and he deals magic damage when it ends. So here you can see we get our first gank attempt on a Mordekaiser here. Mordekaiser does have a lot of health, and he gets a halfway decent flash off, but you can see my wither lasts forever there. It's such a pain to get away from Nasus' wither. If you're level 30, you probably know by now, but that's the case when it comes to Nasus and his slow, for sure. I usually go Hunter's Machete in the beginning. This is Preseason, or pre-preseason, so you won't see the trinket on here, but his build isn't a whole lot different. Here, round 2, you can see the distance on the wither. I get that immediately, almost right out of the bush, and there's just no stopping it. Get that Q off there and get a good hit on him early. Now in this game, I want you to know that I'm not going for a all-out super fed Nasus. I mean, I could have started that way with this, but I'll explain a little later why I take the support role here, but that is what I end up doing, and sometimes that's something you have to do. But either way, share a little bit of the love up top lane. This Pantheon's being just aggressive enough, but he's going to get under the tower. Either way, drop some damage on him. We can get him out of lane. Unfortunately, Loki takes quite a few tower hits here, and then Jarvan pops out of the bush, but there's nothing you can do about that. I got a flash, and my wither will be up in time, so he knows just to turn around. Nasus is not somebody that is very easy to track down, so that's the way that goes when people are chasing him. But like I said, I usually start out with the Hunter's Machete in 5 pots. Nowadays, the trinket, you can get whatever trinket you want. I like to get the wards, but some people prefer the thing that disables nearby invisible traps. From there, I move on to boots, and then you go for the Spirit of the Ancient Golem. That thing is overpowered. It works perfectly well with all of Nasus' equipment. You want the tenacity, you want everything that has to offer, so that's something you're definitely going to want to go for. From there, you can build into a Sunfire Cave or a Randuin's, depending on whether you're getting attacked or not. You're going to want your Ninja Tabby based on that first, and go from there. But real easy gank here with the ult that Fizz put on there. It's not a big deal, and Fizz has that big thing on him. He doesn't die from this, but either way, you can see that Mordekaiser Ignite thing is just terrible. It lasts forever, but get a kill on him, and here you can see Fizz gets the kill, so that's always a good thing. Fizz is the kind of champion that definitely works well when he's fed, like most of them, but more so. Here, Pantheon just way out there, burns his flash, is complaining about the wither right now, and Nunu, who at this time is Loki, by the way, has all support stuff on. He thought he was going support, so it's going to be a little harder to get him fed, but like I said, I choose to go into the support role this time because of the fact that Nunu is behind based on his support runes, and I don't want him to fall so far behind that he's completely useless. So Mordekaiser comes to check out the bush, but at this point he's Mordekaiser that's tanky, so I don't even bother. I gave him a little whack and let him know that I was there. So to finish up the build, the final item that I usually get is an Iceborne Gauntlet. It works real well. Some people rush that a little early. I mean, you can do that if you want to, but that builds out of the Sheen, and the Sheen works really good because you get that extra damage after you use an ability. So after clearing up the lane here, head back into the jungle. Notice that bot lane is, not looking as good as it could right now, so gotta help them out. Counter jungle, you'll hear me talk about that all the time. Love me some counter jungle. Taking money away from the other team is important. So we get that Draven down there. I could have went after him, but I felt like it wasn't as good an option as going after this Leona, especially because Fizz was right there. And if I can land one Wither on this person after he gets his ult, then right there, you're not going to get away. She wastes her ult, which is fantastic. Mordekaiser comes in, which is even better because at this point we have full health. He has no one to help him. I let John get that kill, but make sure that it's secure regardless, and then we go to work on this Mordekaiser. He's going to be withered from me. He's going to be DPS from 2 other people. There isn't a chance. And Fizz decides he's going to go into this bush, sees a little Draven action, hops out of the way, and look at that, pulls off the double kill. That's John right there. He's somebody I play with a lot, but either way, good play. And now you can see the team's looking a little better. You notice that this video is a little shorter than most of them. It's because they quit before 20 is up. And it's not because of the fact that we beat them so much. I think they were just really discouraged because they're not getting completely destroyed at this point. It's still a really good game, and Jarvan's doing a lot of work. But here gets too close to the tower. I grab him up. He decides he's going to try and use a little Jarvan move, but with Loki in there in the ult, that guy's just going to get ice cubed to death. He's not going anywhere between his cube and my Wither. He's going to be there for a while. We get a little help from Fizz here, so we decide, what the heck, we'll just dive him. A little shark bite. That guy's done for good. So, now that we have all the build done, you can choose between depending on if you're very fed, you can build Trinity Force with Nasus. It's a completely viable option, so keep that in mind. Here, we have all 3 of us here. We waited it out, and it works out good because that Pantheon decides he wants to stay under the tower a little too long, and John scoops up another one. Nothing like a fed fish. And here you can see I give up a lot of kills. I could be more aggressive in certain cases, but Nasus is, for lack of a better way to put it, he's one of the best tanks out there. He's got a slow that's better than Terex, plus he can do some serious damage. And in this case, my Q can't get as farmed as I would like it to. So if my Q farm isn't going to be as high as it should be, then might as well, help out the team in that case. I can get super fed late game, become just an absolute burden to the other team. Because the longer the game goes, the more fed your Q is going to get. The more fed your Q is, obviously, the more damage it does. And when you got Fizz landing skill shots and Nidalee landing skill shots like that, then this is a situation where every time they get too close, there's going to be an enemy champion who's getting withered, running away slow, making it super easy for them to land the skill shots that they need to land, and we're going to get this tower. If you look to the top, great communication on our team. Nunu is going to go and take that top tower like it's no big deal. That's what he does. And nowadays, you could probably play Nasus bottom and get away with it. With the way they have the gold set up, you're going to start seeing things like that become a lot more viable, especially with the fact that they have so many wards in the jungle. And jungling is going to get a lot harder. You're going to see a lot more creative things coming out of the jungle. You're going to see a lot more tank positions being used in the jungle just because the gank opportunities aren't going to be there due to the influx in wards. And you're going to see a lot more damage dealers going bottom just because of the fact that they can get that extra gold. But we'll get into all that a little later. Here, we got Nunu pushing top still. We got through the first tower there. He got to the top tower, so everything's going the only way you want it to. You can see we've been here forever in LOL times, and we still have decently full health, but anybody who plays LOL knows that if you stay in one place too long, eventually you make a stupid mistake like this. Jarvan goes in, has a good go at us. We stay our welcome just a little too long, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Eventually you will die if you stay too long in front of a tower. They have the ability to go back, we do not. So if they do eventually get a good grab on one of us, then we're donezo. But the way Nidalee is pushing, or landing her skill shots anyways, there's really not a whole lot to worry about. But here, went in a little too far. Next thing you know, Melt City. Didn't have my ult at the time, so I didn't waste it, which is a good thing. But either way, that was a terrible decision on my part. But it can't all be diamond plays. 1-1 here. Not the worst thing ever. They go and try and get a tower, so although our team didn't do as good as they could have, you can see me here, pop my ult, get real big, scare them off, save the tower. There's no way in hell they're going to kill me here, as long as I'm being smart anyways and backing up when I need to. But Nasus does get a whole lot of health out of his ult, it seems like anyways. You can pop that to get away in a lot of circumstances. And once again, we save a tower there. We're playing good defense, playing good offense, trying to get the objectives. Scoring a dragon kill right here at this point, it's all just icing on the cake. Nidalee's getting kills for no reason, and we're going to catch a Mordekaiser here, who at this point I believe probably has just given up. The jukes, right? At the same time, I still back off because obviously he's going to be focusing me. So in that situation, a good thing to understand is if somebody's focusing you and they're only focusing you and you have low health, just run away from them. You don't need to get every kill. Not only that, but they're probably going to kill you. And let them die without getting anything. So you can see here we kind of rolled these guys. It wasn't the most decisive victory, but support Nasus is OP. If you guys like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you guys subscribe, that'd be awesome. And as always, here's your Mastries and runes. Take care.